how important is social media to your music?
It's everything. And it's everything because of where we are now. The time of now is all about the internet and social media. As you know, if you see any kid the age of 14 and under, like 7-year-olds know how to work an iPhone now. So it's huge. You know, I don't like social media that much. It feels.
It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, it is, and maybe because I actually didn't grow up with it. So it feels very. It's work for me to even post on Twitter and to even promote our shows. It's work because I have to like think about it and go in and it's gonna, you know, it's also very technical to me. It doesn't feel real. Like this, I'm talking to you, and even though there's a camera in front of me, cameras wig me out too, but you're here, so it's easier. But in this age of music is all about social media, and it's really hard being a brand new band in a world where people only look at your Facebook likes, people only look at your Twitter followers, people only look at your pictures on Instagram. That's how they base how good you are. And that's very challenging when you're a brand new band and you're not as good as like this band that's, I'm gonna say this, that sucks, and they're young, but their numbers are high. And like people aren't gonna give a shit about how terrible this band is because their numbers are great, and they're gonna go follow them because they're using the right hashtags. It's crazy. We've had to learn, like we've had to sit and take lessons and classes on how to reach people, just because we just know how to play. Like I just know how to sing and play, and like that's it. It's crazy.
And real artists are very revealing, and that's what makes their art exceptional. And with social networking, you can't be very revealing. You have to be very concise. You have to be very direct. So it doesn't really appeal to people who are kind of yearning for a larger sense of honesty. It's great for narcissists, though.
But we respect the internet very much,
I don't know if I respect the internet, but I do like being this. I like being this connected to people who like our music.
That is the thing,
and that's changed us.
That's been a huge gift. The internet has given us the gift to connect with our fans.
I think we've gotten good at people of generating a community based on who likes our music, which for us is the ideal. It doesn't need to be 5 million people who kind of like the way we look or what we sound like. We'd rather have a hardcore 10,000 fans of people who really enjoy the words and understand where we're coming from and believe that our music speaks to them. And those are the people that we really have kind of reached out to in social media, and we've been really fortunate with crowdfunding and all that stuff, or we wouldn't be here.
Awesome. What influences were drawn from it to making money?
I think my past, me coming from Idol and experiencing that high coming off of the show, and then the super, super lows. When we met and we decided to write together, it was meant to be the second Alice and Iraeta album, but then it made sense for it to be a band, and I don't know, can you take that? Because it's a lot, because it was based on a lot of what I went through.
Yeah, it probably it's hard to answer for you because it's so you feel arrogant.
Yeah.
Because the truth is when we started writing Bunny, and she started explaining to me her past, which, I mean, and everything, not just Idol, but what happened before then, and you know, the story, just the story alone of her being a bilingual girl from South Central whose parents are from El Salvador, and she was earning money with music at 8 years old, you know, singing in local furniture stores, and then you know, being exposed to the world of television at like 9, and living in Mexico for a summer and winning a TV show. Like, I just thought, well, if we don't write an album about this, then someone's going to write a book about it. Because it just, being a white guy from Texas, this was interesting to me. And there was a depth to it that I thought kind of deserved some investigation. And I think we just sort of got to know each other, and she got to tell her stories over the course of that, of making that record. I don't know if anything else will probably cover that ground ever again, but I think it was important to do that on Bunny. And that's why it took so long to record. It's why it travels to so many places. It was all very intentional.
How is it being married and like being in a band, being the band together, being a band together?
It's funny, we never talk about this.
Yeah.
Well, it's great. We like each other, so that's good. And we're good at separating. I think the thing that works with us is that we're good at separating work and our personal life, and we respect each other very much. I respect you very much as a musician and a writer, and it makes it a lot easier when you genuinely like the person. It's amazing. I've never felt safer.
I think it's rare to find two musicians who like prioritize being human over being a musician. And we work hard, and everything we do is for our craft. But it's more important to be human and to be whole, so we have something to say as musicians. So I think having each other's back, you know, all the stereotypes, being each other's best friend. There's no one funnier, so that helps.
Okay, Matt, how is it different producing for artists like Justin Timberlake, Timbaland, Duran Duran, to producing and writing your own stuff with Allison?
You know, when I work with other artists, I always try and zone in on what makes them unique and whatever they're doing or wherever they're living at that moment. So I think in that respect, I kind of came to Allison at the same spot I try to come with everybody. I think the difference is what. Well, I never agreed to be in a band with anybody, you know, I've ever produced. With Allison, I get to, and this is very selfish, with Allison I get to explore many facets of my musicianship. You know, we do Spanish, we do a little punk, we do some progressive rock, we do, you know, there's a lot in Halo Circus because her gift is kind of limitless. So it's the least restrictive environment I've ever been in, and it feels good.
Okay, and final question, what are your plans after the tour?
Well, to come back, hopefully with more Halo Circus fans, and write more, and
We have a second record being written right now.
we've already started, so to come back and to keep writing and to finish the next record and then to get back out and play for people again.
We've really enjoyed touring with Ruby Rose Fox,
Yeah.
who's been opening for us. There seems to, all of a sudden in the last year, there seems to be this light bulb going off with musicians that are like, you know, we all get it. The music industry's in shambles, you know. No one's making any money except for a couple people. Like, we get it. We're tired of talking about it. We're tired of living it. So I think something happened in the last year or two where people are just like, you know what, I'm just going to do what I hear, which is like finally. You know, as artists, we're like, oh, finally. And so people like Ruby, people like Margot Price, people like Sturgill Simpson, and we played with this band in Florida, Gary Laser. Like there's some really interesting stuff happening right now.